Welcome back to Gemstone Podcast. My name is Lance Parker. I go by LP. I have Sha and Zack with me today, and we're excited about today's segment. Please go follow our podcast on Spotify Anchor. Please click follow. Also, please go follow our Instagram account. It is at Gemstone Podcast. Our IG account is at Gemstone Podcast. Okay, so I'm gonna let Zack take it away, and he has the floor.
What up, everybody? Today we're gonna get into some in the news stuff that's been going on in Virginia today. We got a Virginia nurse arrested for breaking the bones of black newborn babies in the NICU. Now, the story goes on this that a Miss Erin Elizabeth Ann Storman, a 26-year-old nurse from Virginia, has been arrested on charges of malicious wounding and felony child abuse. The arrest follows an investigation into a series of incidents where doctors in the hospital in Richmond where multiple newborns in the intensive care unit suffered unexplainable fractures. The hospital had previously closed the NICU to new admission out of the abundance of caution that a similar incident would happen again, were reported. So later in November and December of 2024, the police had confirmed that the Storman's charges stem from an investigation with detective now re-examining cases from 2023 and 2024 to determine the full scope of her abuse, of the abuse. What are y'all thoughts on hearing that there's a nurse breaking the bones of newborn babies? And I guess we're all black, so I guess we can get this very deep to us and get racial with this one. Not just babies, but black babies. They're just getting into the world, not even having a chance to fight for themselves, and now they're getting their bones broken at newborn.
I think that that's pretty sad, number one, that you have a medical professional or a clinical medical professional uh, operating in such adverse behavior that's detrimental to something that's so fragile. Newborns are very fragile. Their heads, bones, organs, everything is not fully developed. It's still in the developmental stage when they come out the womb. So that's very alarming. Um, and I kind of want to know what type of assessment was done for this particular nurse. Um, and being an individual who's worked in healthcare for an ingrained number of years, I think this is just my opinion. There's no research to back this up, but based off my scholarly opinion, um, a lot of nurses and physicians experience trauma in their workplace because of the job that they have to do. I mean, if you see stillborns being born all the time, or you see people come in with their legs chopped off, or someone's been shot, or you are trying to save someone and they die on you in the midst of you trying to perform a procedure to save their life, that provides like a level of trauma. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a theory called the professional quality of life, where they have compassion, satisfaction, I think compassion, satisfaction, compassion, fatigue, and then burnout. Then secondary trauma is the last tier of that conceptualization. Um, and it's basically saying the the occupation in which this field has induces trauma to you, and it can impact your psychological well-being. So I want to know, with this particular nurse, how many stillborns did she have to deliver, to assist and deliver? How many babies did they have that were in the NICU? Because it said NICU, so babies in the NICU, that means that babies already came with some complications. So how many on her shift did she have to nurture and then they passed away, or they died? How many mothers did she see give birth and then pass away? Like, what all encompassed that? I mean, I'm not trying to make an excuse for her, but I think when it comes to clinical professionals, man, they go through some very strenuous things that impact their psychological well-being. And then the health systems don't do their just due to provide them with the interventions to overcome that psychological issues. Because if I'm getting paid, because I have to do my job, I have to deliver babies, I have to uh, clean them. I have to help the mom. I have to help the doctor. I have to help the physician. That's what I have this clinical license for. But the health system itself is not providing any type of intervention to the system to overcome those adverse reactions. Um, so I really think it's bad. And you mentioned that we all are African Americans, Black Americans on this podcast, and that's true. And there is an undertone issue when it comes to maternity or paternity, when it comes to minorities. Uh, Black women specifically experience a higher number of mortality, and death and miscarriages, and they get disregarded more uh, in their pregnancy process or in their birthing process by physicians. It's been documented, it's been researched, there's a lot of research around it. They have several coalitions that try to support these Black mothers when they have these issues. So uh, I'm glad you said that too, Zach. But I just want to know the rap sheet of this nurse, like what all took place, and has she ever been written up? Like, did she have red flags beforehand?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Did she have red flags beforehand? Was she operating in some malpractice and y'all kind of just swept it under the rug? Was she, doing med pass illegally? Was she giving medication in an incorrect form? Was she not following proper processes and procedures? It's so many questions that I have because I mean in healthcare you have all these checks balances. So it's like, how do we get to this point? And we just like someone just don't wake up and start breaking bones and breaking arms or being malicious toward patients or children or babies. You have to have some type of lead up to it. So like something's missing at this story. And I like I said, I keep going back to the system wherever she worked at or he or whoever worked it. They covering up something. Yeah, she got caught finally, but y'all covering up something for some type of reason. But that's my take on it.
Well, oh, go ahead, Zach. I got a lot to say. Go ahead, Zach.
Um, I ain't a father. Me and Shy ain't a father or mother right now. We still working on those days in our life, and we probably want to have kids in our future. You know what I'm saying, Shy? That's the future for us. So we can't speak on too much of knowing how it would feel to be a parent and just go through, but I can speak on how I would feel right now if that was my niece or my brother or my sister. And to know that somebody broke my brother's leg or my niece's or my nephew's leg, I'd be hot. It wouldn't be a place on this earth I wouldn't find you, dog. You mean to tell me you broke my child's leg or arm in care? Like, I can understand barely if you were doing this and things happen, there's a freak accident. But my first emotion that my child has is pain. Now I need to give you that same pain real quick because ain't no way he's supposed to feel pain like that already. Ain't no way. I couldn't do it. I'll be hot. You would, I'll be one mad black man. You always talking about black men is scary and all that shit. You gonna see a scary black man today.
Nah, I agree with you though, Zach. I mean, I have three children, so I'll be very upset. But I tried to take the parental like view out of it because I mean that's very emotional, obviously. Any parent that you have a child that's being brought in this world and somebody's done harm to, you definitely gonna, go behind them 1,000%. But I want to look at it from a professional lens because it's something missing. Something is missing, and it just ain't adding up to me.
Well, see, I like your professional.
Well,
I need your father's lens, son. I need you to show me what it would feel like as a father if somebody broke your son or your daughter's leg.
Man, you already know. No, we ain't got to even go into detail what's gonna take place. That's pretty apparent what's gonna happen. Whatever my medical bill equals, that's what yours is gonna equal, but times 10. So yeah.
well, let me add some context to this subject. I'm gonna just call it a thing. A thing. This lady is an evil, racist scum of the earth. There was a total of 7 babies that she's injured. One of the babies actually sustained a knife wound. Well, it wasn't a knife; it was more one of those medical scalpels. But one of the baby had a puncture, a wound, was stabbed under her care. This is not the first time that this happened. She actually got suspended from work like 2 or 3 years ago for this same thing. But she has a history and a pattern. She doesn't like black people. She doesn't like black babies. And this hospital, the fact that they suspended her before and let her come back and she did this again, The hospital needs to be shut down. Those families need to be awarded $50 million a piece. This woman needs to be sentenced to. She needs to. There needs to be a trial. She needs to be sentenced to life in prison because it's not even. Let's set aside the fact that it's babies. These are NICU babies, meaning these are babies that were born premature. Babies were born with heart defects. Any kind of birth defect. These are these children. These are not babies that were born, let's say, quote unquote, healthy. These are not healthy babies. So you're injuring babies that are already fighting for their lives. Every single baby, those 7 babies that we know was probably more, each one of those babies needs to be an attempted murder count because these children are already fighting for their life. You broke a newborn baby leg. So that means you went into the NICU, you took that baby's leg and you purposely broke that baby's leg, and that child was in that bed hollering and screaming while you did that, and you felt no remorse. And this black family, that's the one that brought her to this attention, that reason why we see all this now. This happened 2 years ago. They baby has healed and everything. He's a toddler now, but they have been fighting for 2 long years to bring this woman to justice, and this hospital has not done anything about it. So we need the NAACP on the line. We need the Child Protective Services on the line. We need the board of nursing on the line. I believe she's an RN. The board of nursing. Every malpractice attorney in the state of Virginia, get on the line because this is a $1 billion lawsuit toward that hospital. This hospital needs to be closed down indefinitely. Shut it down. And we need to pull a track record of every single child, every single baby and child that's come underneath her care that's been born between the last couple of years since this cunt has been working there and wherever she worked prior to. And we need the whole list of these people because you just don't know what child out there that's not included on this suit that she has done this to. And this is a prime example of why Black women, we are finally waking up to the fact that you need a Black doctor, you need a Black nurse. And even the fact that there was a woman that I came across on social media, because I read about this story like a couple weeks ago. The woman on social media, she just had a baby at this same hospital and interacted with this same piece of trash, this same nurse. She interacted with her. The woman asked her to take her baby out of the room and bring her in the other room so she could get some rest. And that lady said, something told me no. She was like, no, I'm good. I don't need no rest. You can leave my baby here. Exactly.
Talking about Sha, she was still there?
The trash is she still worked there up until maybe a week or two ago. She was still working there. So, but this is the reason why for all Black women out there, they are literally killing us. There's a Black baby that was decapitated last year under the care of a doctor. They are literally killing us and killing our children every single day. So it's like I know you might be tired, you have a baby, don't let them take your baby out the room. Don't let once they take your baby out the room and get your baby cleaned off after you had the baby, that's it. You need to watch your child 24/7. If you're tired, if you have any family members, if you have a spouse, a mother, a father, somebody that can watch your child while you take a nap, watch your children because they are killing our children. And I even have a personal situation where I know somebody personally that was given a hysterectomy for no reason. The doctor literally removed all of her female organs just because he wanted to. That wasn't even going to solve her problem. The lady still ended up getting cancer or whatever that she still ended up getting it. So it's like literally these medical professionals are abusing their power and they are harming us. So I'm gonna be following this story because this lady been doing this for years. This is not the first child she's done this to, and the fact that the hospital suspended her for I forgot, I don't know if it was a year or a couple of months she was suspended, and they let her come back on after the investigation, quotation marks. So HR failed, Child Protective Services failed, DFC, everybody failed. This hospital, these family, and where's the governor of Virginia? We need some heavy hitters on the line because these people need to be shut down today.
I never saw the story. This must have been on social media. I haven't been on social media in over a month. That's so it goes back to what I said though. Even as hearing the story, I said, "No, man, it has to be some type of written documentation because somebody just don't wake up and start doing this." So I said originally, put it back on the health system. So if she's been doing this and they still had her on the floor working, keyword, she has been harming children. And you said punctured a baby, like she stabbed or scalpeled or cut, like she was doing a procedure on the baby. And they are, like you said, they in the NICU already. That means that they're already struggling. Why hasn't the board of wherever the hell she works at been involved? Why hasn't the board chair, the president, why hasn't anyone at that particular health system got involved and provide some
I'll
type
tell you why
of,
nobody ain't got involved, because they black babies. If
well,
they was
no,
white babies, they would have got involved. They
I
black
hate to
babies.
say it, but say it one more time. Shy, he didn't hear you. Say it one
Because
more.
they black babies, and they know she a racist piece of work, and I'm sure her overhead is probably racist as well. Her race, I mean, her the head nurse in charge is probably racist as well. A lot of them women are racist in nursing fields, so there's
mm-hmm.
black babies and nobody cares. That's why, because it's black
Well,
babies.
y'all,
Victims ain't.
y'all
Why
agree.
are her victims black? None of her victims, all 7 of these babies that we know as of right now that are her victims are all black. No Hispanic, no white, no Middle Eastern, no Pacific Asian, strictly black babies.
Now, see, y'all saying it's all, they not saying that because it's racism, which is probably true. But also, how long she been there? Like we don't like it's who does she know? Because what I do know is that when something gets swept under the rug for a long period of time, like I said, I've been in healthcare for a long time. I done worked in the inpatient, outpatient, substance abuse, yeah, higher education mixed with education and health together. When you put them together, FQHC. When things happen like this and they keep sweeping it under the rug, it's because that individual is connected to somebody that's very high up. And that is wrong. And I pray that justice is served for everybody involved. And I'm gonna take it a step further, Shot. You talking about shut the system down. No, anybody that's associated with that entire health organization needs to have criminal charges. If you in operations and you make decisions and you write policy, y'all need to get charges because guess what? At some point in time, it touched your desk. I'm telling you, at some point in time, it touched everybody's desk that's in operations and makes policy there. I guarantee you, there's no way that an injury takes place and the incident report is not filed. No.
Can I get one right here? I hate to put these people into this because sometimes they don't deserve it, but sometimes they do. The doctor that's over these babies on the NICU, where are you at when this stuff happens? You have to read this incident report that you're talking about that happens because when a tibia and all this stuff gets broken, a baby gets stabbed, given a shot. Where is your antennas at to figure out? Oh, whoa, this. Hey, wait a minute. This don't sound right here. How did this happen? Walk me through what you was doing to see how this happened. And the nurse practitioners that be on there, the big dog nurses at the NICU and all that stuff. Where are your antennas at in this situation to figure out what's going on? Like some of these injuries should be like, oh, what this injury don't look right. This ain't a type of injury you get when you doing something like this. What were you doing? Walk me through this so I can have an understanding of what you're doing to know if you're capable of doing this job you're doing, or are you doing this on purpose? Like there's some things that has to go through so you can see what's going on. Because right now I don't see it, and I ain't a parent, but I know one damn well if this was my child, this hospital wouldn't be around no more. This hospital would be to the ground, burning.
But this is the thing, though. A
Feel
lot
like
of doctors,
California in this mug right now.
but this is the thing, though, Zach. A lot of doctors, when things like this happen, they try to distance themselves from it because they didn't do it. They didn't do it, so they want to distance themselves from it.
And that's
So
the problem.
so she
I
was
mean, but
injured.
she was
She did it.
investigated. She was investigated and she was
She not no
suspended for a
doctor. She a
while.
nurse. She a nurse. She ain't no damn
She's
doctor.
investigated. She was after that she was suspended, but somebody let her come back.
Well,
Now
that's what I'm
that
saying.
NICU unit is
That's the
closed
problem.
down right now, though. They
That,
did
but,
close
but,
it
that,
down last month.
but Shai, that's what we're saying. He's saying the doctor and the nurse are two different people. He's saying, okay, so the nurse came in and did the injury. Why did the supervising physician that the baby is under the physician's care, the pediatrician? How come that
We know
pediatrician
why.
didn't provide? Didn't provide. Well, they want to distance themselves. Well, hold
No,
on.
we
If
know
you
why
took
they didn't
that,
provide help, because guess what? These doctors and these head level people, they come in, they take a look, and they leave. They go on to the next person. These RNs and these LVNs and these CNAs, they are most of the time left to deal with the patient. So that's how she was able to do what she do. And I mean, that doctor, that baby probably didn't see the doctor until a while after the birth. Those nurses are the ones left to do the cleaning of the baby and help the mama and administrate this and that and that. Them doctors typically out the door once the baby delivered.
yeah.
So that's how she was able to do what she do. And what it says, this is from 2023 to 2024. So I mean, she might have not had opportunity to do every baby she wanted to, but she did at least 7 of them over the last year.
That's crazy, man.
That we know of.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that we know of, exactly.
But that's crazy, man. This in Virginia.
With her ugly, pasty looking self.
Yeah,
She better not let me catch on the street.
Yeah.
She better not let me catch on the street. That's all I know.
That's crazy, man. That's
Her
crazy,
ugly,
man.
pasty, Judy Jackson, Bob, ugly. It's always a
crazy,
pasty,
man.
ugly one. Every time. It's always y'all. I don't want y'all touching me. I don't want y'all touching me.
LP, I got a question. I got a thing for one of these things. You saying they didn't say something for a reason. Another reason they didn't say something probably was because the money. Do you want to keep something like that as quiet, long as possible, and move the money around and get whatever you can get around and show that you did this to get this person out of this, you did this to get this person out of this, so legal problems won't get onto you because of the money. We all know hospitals is a big money business, and when like this happen, is a big money lawsuit, and we talking about stupid amounts of dollars gonna come out this. Somebody getting paid.
But
no one buts about it. Somebody getting paid.
I'm gonna tell you something, though, Zack. Healthcare systems, they a lot of times they don't care about getting sued because they got so much money. They don't mind writing a check. I didn't seen it. Oh, we don't care. We'll give them $2 million. Give them $2 million, they go away. I didn't seen it. Sometimes they really don't care. Sometimes somebody didn't say something for another reason. It's not because I don't know where the hospital is at, and that's why I'm really leading to. It may be one of the more profound.
The hospital is in Racine, Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, and
no, I'm saying the location, like in that particular area, like it may be in the underserved
it's in Richmond,
population.
Virginia.
It may be in the high end population.
It's in Racine, Virginia. It's in Richmond, Virginia, and it's not in a black area. Richmond, you know, I'm familiar with VA because I dated somebody from VA. So it's in Richmond, a part of Virginia that's not black like that. It's black, but it's not that black.
Is that area like considered like one of the suburban areas, Sean?
It's like a mix. It's like a mixed area. Like Norfolk, Virginia Beach is more blackity black. You know, there's Drake song Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
You know, that's more black. When you go toward Richmond, that's all the 757. When you go toward Richmond and you keep going up, they are racist. Richmond on up, racist.
Okay, so I mean, it probably just got swept under the rug because they was like, we don't need this bad publicity.
No, shut the whole hospital down. Close it.
They don't care about paying. They don't care about the payouts, man. Now, if it's
close the whole hospital down.
If it's a small system, now they care about them lawsuits. But them big ones, they don't care about them. Yeah, man, I didn't seen them write checks that more zeros and I didn't seen on the video game. So they don't care. They don't be caring sometimes. They're like, whatever. They're writing the check. They're going by their business.
The diversity in this town, this county is about 170,000 people are white, 97.8 thousand are African American, 31,000 are Asian, and that's about what I'm seeing right now. They don't show the Hispanic one right now, but so it's a little bit more diversity. It's a lot more African Americans there though.
Yeah, it's a lot of black people that live in the area, like Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, Richmond. What else? Norfolk, Suffolk. It's a lot of black people live over there, but the white people run it. It's also the Commonwealth. So it's like it's like the
Hispanics. Excuse me.
20. It's like the And let me add this: she only 26 years old, so you can already tell she been racist. She probably was born racist into racism. You're 26 years old and you injuring babies. Yeah, she's a sick individual. I'm done, y'all.
We have my insight. We have a father insight from LP. We need the women insight from you. And you're not speaking for every woman, but we're not speaking for everybody either. But it's just we need our insights because this is something serious, really, right here. You know what I mean? This person literally injured and disabled some young kids, like she broke a kid's tibia.
Come to another baby.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how it would feel if you broke my son or my child?
Man, when I tell y'all, she wouldn't even have no need no trial. That's all I'm gonna say. They'll be still looking for her right now. This happened last year. They'll be still looking for her. They wouldn't be able to find her.
You remember that movie Law Abiding Citizen, right? That would have been me.
She'll be somewhere in Mississippi, gator food, if you ask me. Kentucky. Kentucky and Virginia ain't that far apart. Or I would have drove her down to Savannah, Georgia. They ain't but about 3 hours from the 757, but you would have been somewhere in Savannah in Frogmore. Frogmore, you would be Frogmore stew.
Now, I don't want to get too deep in this though, because I know Lance, you said something about how they just throw money and check the money. Ain't it sad how we'll take an easy 2 million when we know we can probably get more than that? But since we ain't never had that type of money, somebody give us 2 million, that changed our lives right there, which it is. It's life-changing money if you have $2 million, but it's a sad part to it because the 2 million you took was pennies to them when you probably could have got 20, 50, maybe 70 million. In a case like this, the case is endless. This is somebody breaking child's bodies parts that has a record of this. You can, it makes me sick. Lord.
Well, see, if it was me, and I know we got to move to our next time. The money is see, we look at the money as a blessing at times, right? Because it's like I said, oh, all these billions of dollars. No, I'm going for policy and health reform. See, that's what needs to happen. This family don't need that. They can sue for some money. Go ahead. But you need to also make sure that a health policy is being some type of bill is going to get passed in Virginia. So things like this don't happen anymore. Like there is some type of bill where a nurse cannot be left alone for a elongated period of time with a baby or whatever it may be, but there's some type of bill that's passed. See, that's how you get some change in place. See, that's what people don't understand. We get caught up on 2 million. Oh my God, they don't give us $2 million. And they got the money. Health systems got money for days. They got, man, y'all saw what just happened to the man out there, United Healthcare? They got so much money. And healthcare and insurances, they are loaded. That's who's loaded. So if something like this has happened, the board of nursing need to be involved. More rigorous psychological assessments need to take place. Some type of health policy, a bill needs to be passed in Virginia. Like all these type of things need to take place now, because one, y'all suspended the woman, then y'all let her come back, and she did it again. But when she came back, I want to know when she came back and how many more children were harmed or harmed after she came back off a damn suspension. Because that lets me know y'all let her come back. She did more harm. Y'all didn't do nothing. No, it needs to be some bills passed. You get some bills passed, then guess what? The federal government, they start sanctioning these hospitals, these health systems. Then they're going to get some act right. Because now you got to pay some of your government money and your federal money and your grant money. It got to come back. You don't want that. No, you want to keep that in the bank.
Well, let me add this.
That's what needs to happen.
I was going to say that, the Steward Health, they own a lot of hospitals and stuff all around the United States and probably overseas too. They actually have a hospital in Connecticut that was shut down for a little short amount of time because of some malice practice of this nature. I believe the hospital is back open now, but it was closed for a little minute. This is an old hospital been in Connecticut open for many, many years. So this hospital in Virginia needs to be closed down, period. I'm sorry to the whole staff, down from the down from the top to the bottom. I'm sorry, you gotta find a new job. I need to get a severance pack, something. Then to close the hospital down. Shut it down. Shut it down, period. It's a medical field. There's always gonna be jobs. shut this hospital down. Get them people severance pay and shut it down because it don't have to be shut down forever, but at least for a couple months, they need to let go everybody on that NICU staff, including the charge nurse, to the doctors, to the pediatrician. Everybody needs to be let go. And this lady here needs to be charged with attempted murder, 7 counts of attempted murder. She needs to never see the light of day. She needs to let the rest of her life behind bars.
All right, man. Let's go to the next topic, man. Because that we can be on that for about a whole hour, man. Because man, yeah. Let's go.
Lock her up, cause I bet not catch her.
So yeah, man. We want to make sure that we're just gonna pray for Virginia Richmond. I think you shot. So I hope we get that taken care of. So go for the policy. Go for a bill to be passed so y'all can get some real changes, some real rights. Because if you get the money, ain't nothing gonna change. All right. So for my topic, what I want to talk about the concept of discernment. What discernment is, it's the ability to make, careful judgment and have make decisions, like the best decisions based off your insight and lived experience, and just to go beyond, like, to deeper truths and understandings within yourself, and like what you understand when it comes to life. Uh, and the only reason I brought this topic up is because I was in California not too long ago, and a gentleman who was much older than me brought it up, talking about discernment. And he was like, "Well, how old are you?" Not telling how old I was. He was like, "Man, your generation don't adhere to discernment." And I was like, "Adhere to discernment? What do you mean? Like, I don't understand that. How can you not adhere to discernment?" Um, so I want to kind of unpack that with you guys, because I think that us as millennials, because we always talk about topics from our perspective in our generation, how we see life, and the lens in which we see. Man, a lot of us have similar understandings because we're in this generation. They ain't gonna be the exact same, but sometimes it's similar, sometimes it's not. But I think for our generation, I think we have an ability to make good judgment. I just think our generation is more keen on making decisions that's good for you, like individualized. Like, if I'm gonna make a decision, it's what's best for me. I don't care what nobody else got going. It's what's best for me, and I'm gonna use whatever data or whatever lived experience, whatever wisdom I currently have to make that decision. So I want to kind of debunk that. And the question is, like, what is the difference with discernment with our generation and others?
A lot of time the older generation, they have a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge, which is true. But a lot of the things that we suffering from right now is because of them. So a lot of our things that we have to go through in life are sins of our fathers and of our mothers. So they ain't had too much discernment. The older generation, they have a lot of knowledge. They can teach a lot of things, but a lot of the mistakes that they made and things that they made, we don't make the mistakes to this day. A lot of the things that we have to our advantage, yes, it is because the people came before us didn't have those advantages, but I don't feel like we lack discernment. I feel like we may not use it. I also don't feel like we had the same penalties they did for lacking discernment. It's a little bit different nowadays. Like, we can kind of, you know, it's a little bit different. Like, nowadays, just a woman, for example, I can walk into a job and say, I'm out of here and leave, and I can go get me another job. But 50 years ago, it was hard for women to find jobs. A lot of women didn't even have a job. So it's a little bit different now. So, the world has changed entirely in some aspects, but I don't think that we lack discernment. I mean, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Like, Papas are still Rolling Stones these days. Like, these young boys doing the same thing they papas and they daddies did. These girls doing the same thing their mamas did and their grandmamas did. They just pass it on down. So it's like, can't say we lack discernment. We doing the same thing y'all was doing, but a little bit better. We doing it a little bit more easier. We might not have as much hardship, But that's what I gotta say.
I'm gonna say a topic that's gonna be crazy for us to say about it. Now let me turn it down so y'all hear this. every generation got their crash out season. So I feel like the older generation think we crash out and we don't know how to handle judgment because how we act and how we do things, maybe thinking before, I mean, speaking or doing before thinking sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Just like we say about our younger generation, or we call them YNs now because we know they about to crash out, do something out of line. Uh, they feel the same way about us, you know, those millennials. The boomers feel the same way about us. We feel millennials feel the same way about the Gen Zs. Like every generation still has that same thing. I don't listen. I don't do this, and this. But we all had to go through that same time frame in our life where we weren't listening. We had to bust our head wide open until we got to where we got to. Um, we know how to judge. It's just we choose not to judge. We choose not to do things like that because we feel like we're invincible because sometimes we're young. Now, on the flip side of that, a lot of that come from our boomer generation and our older generation really not sitting a lot of us down and mentoring a lot of us and guiding us. A lot of them still hold on to some of the knowledge they know, which is really bad for us younger generations because now we lose that information because they end up dying off and leaving with that. So we don't get the understanding of how you got to do this and you did all this and you did this business and you grew this to make this go like this, and now we got to go bust our head open until we figure out how to get to that situation. So we have to go 50 extra steps when you could have taught somebody how to learn something to get them ahead of the situation. And now their judgment is better. Now their understanding of life is better. But instead of us doing it like that, we keep doing that same crab in the barrel mentality sometimes, or I'm gonna let them bust their head until they get right, and then I'm gonna teach them how to do something instead of just sitting somebody down and actually communicating with them and try to understand them because you all been through that same style. I know my parents told me every time, everything you trying to do, I done did, and I done did it 2 times better. Some of that might be true, some of that might not be true. But if you've done it, teach me how not to do it. Teach me what to do differently. Don't just keep letting me sit there, crash out, and bust my head up against the door.
I like what both of y'all said. So now I can kind of unpack what I told this individual. This is what I said. I said, man, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. The millennial generation is a generation who we get it out the mud type, so to speak. A lot of our women are very independent. A lot of our men that have high value or considered high value men, they are very independent as well, and we're not very opinionated. We make decisions and we go with it. And I just believe, and I said, and I told her, I'm gonna speak from my own experience. I think that the life you lived experiences give you wisdom. I say, the Bible always talks about how God gave Solomon a choice between riches or kingdoms. They say he prayed for wisdom and got both. I feel like the millennial generation is that because we seek all these different avenues. We seek a travel lifestyle. We seek to uh we have flexibility at work and make good finances or to have extra streams of income. But we have innovative ways of thinking. This generation did that. I hate to say it, the internet was introduced with us. We had MySpace, we had Skype, we had Voodoo, uh, we had the T9 texting Nokia phone with you had to text and you had to hit the number 5 times to make it say you and everything else. We had that. So I think this generation kind of grew up with the wave and how the world is going because it's going in that direction. But we were exposed to it very early, so we took on to it and we just grew with it. So our discernment comes from our lived experience, how we perceive the world, how we see the world, and how we have all these different takes. Like just think, we just had this whole conversation about the lady just a minute ago, the nurse lady. All three of us agreed, right? Something need to happen bad. Something need to happen. But each one of us gave a different solution to it. Now, the older generation, could they have done that? Sure. But would they have debunked it the way we did? No, they would have took it a whole nother route, to be honest. I mean, I can hear like some of my older uncles or my father and his friends talking about it, and they had just take it to the White House, the election, all these other different places. We can just stop it right there. We don't need to go that far. No, no. This needs to happen. This needs to happen. This needs to happen. Or we're gonna set the building on fire. And our generation will set the building on fire. We ain't marching peacefully. See, that's the difference. And so I think that and like I told this gentleman, I said, I think that the issue that you guys may have with my generation is that y'all think we're somewhat unruly. But it's not we're unruly. We just understand our value. We understand our value to society as well. So since we understand that we contribute just as much as you do, it's gonna be some checks and balances up in this joint. Respect is gonna be what it's gonna be. And so that's what I told them. I mean, y'all can, chime in on what y'all think about that, but that's what I see.
I don't agree.
What do you not agree on? What part of that? What Lance said or what we all said?
I don't think millennium got out the mud. I don't agree with that. I feel like we've had it. I feel like we had it the most easiest in the generation. We the technology babies. We the air conditioning babies, like my people would say. We grew up with central air and central heat. Most of us. We grew up with technology, computers, cell phones. We can talk to people way in Japan and get the message in 1 minute. We grew up with more equality in the workplace, more equality in the school place, in education place. We grew up. We just grew up different. Like I don't agree that we got out the mud. I don't think that.
I don't know because that would be. I mean, y'all can chime in, but I just feel like that's not our fault because society was advancing, and just so happened we were born in this period of time, and these particular appliances or interventions were implemented in society. How's that our fault? We don't have no control over that. That's just like saying somebody in the 1800s had it worse than somebody in 1960, or somebody back in the times of medieval war when they was having Saxon wars and Danes and all this other war going on, that they had it much harder than those who were living in the 1890s or the 60s or the 70s. I mean, I think like Zach said, each generation has a crash out season. And I believe each generation has a struggle. But I also believe that each generation becomes wiser because as time goes on, so does revolution. So there's new discovery, so there's new technology, so there's new medicine. So you can't fault a generation for advancing beyond yours. That's how it's supposed to be. They're not supposed to stay where your generation was because how's the world advancing? We're supposed to advance. We're supposed to. I expect my son's generation to advance us. I want it. If they don't, I'm like, well, what's going on in life? They're supposed to. That's how it's supposed to be set up. We're supposed to be contributing to the body of knowledge and advancing. So that's why I say we got it out the mud because we started off with technology, and I believe that this generation was the guinea pigs for it. We had the MySpace, we had the phones, we had the Flip, the Razors, we had the iTunes. You used to have to buy on Apple Music. You had to buy a song. You couldn't just download them no more. You had to buy each one. Then you had LiveWire. Then you had all these other MP3 players. Then you had Zoomy. You had all these different applications. But now you don't have. You still have these, but they're used in a much different way, in different manner and facet. So that's why I say we got it out the mud, so to speak, because this whole area of content creation, it wouldn't happen without this generation. It wouldn't happen without a Soldier Boy. I know we hot on him all the time. Let's keep it all the way 100. He was the first one to go viral. That's real. So this whole content creation, this whole adding media and technology into health, into education, into this anything, our generation was the ones who started it.
I'm about 50-50 on that topic right there, because I can agree with Shy say somewhat about maybe everybody in our generation didn't get it out the mud, but it's a lot of us that did get it out the mud. A lot of us grew up in the same time frame the boomers did, with the same boomers did, Everybody didn't get that like you say, central air and heat and all that other good stuff like that, So I will say some people got it out the mud, some people didn't probably, About that. We can speak about that in every quality of life. Every generation probably got that same type of statement. Some people got out the mud from older living, people didn't. Uh, I do agree we supposed to advance, but advancing the next generation is from us teaching them. I still think, I still stand on that. Like if the older generation ain't teaching the new generation, ain't no way that can happen. And one thing I will say is this is that our generation of millennials might have been the last one to get education the way we got education. Because the way the education system is shipping out to be now is completely different from what we had. There ain't no more stars and all that tests and stuff like that. It's completely different. Shoot, you barely even get all the information we had in history now. Stuff in history getting taken out, stuff in math getting taken out, like science stuff. Like it's so much stuff in the educational field getting taken out of classrooms that we learned when we was the millennials that made school somewhat fun to come back to school that our kids ain't never gonna get taught. There's gonna be a lot of us having to teach our kids at home how life really is and what really happened in history. It's not going to be in the history books where they can go back and read it no more. So it's going to be even more important on us to put that back into our kids and the newer generation's life because they're not going to understand what really happened in history because it's not going to be back in those books anymore.
Yeah, our parents' generation is the reason why the crack epidemic was so strong. Our parents' generation is the reason why the taxes in the world are so high and the gas so high. It's all y'all fault anyway.
Oh Lord.
Maybe y'all should have been marching. Maybe we should have been marching, still marching now from the 50s on to now. Maybe we should have kept marching after.
Man, you was out of line. you was out of line, man.
Because I remember doing that George Floyd march. It was mostly us out there. Mostly millennials was out there. Okay, we was the ones out there say his name, protesting and then walking them blocks and blocks. At least in Houston, we walked all the way to the city hall, and then you come outside.
Boy, it was hot that day too. Boy, it was a long walk. I don't know if you remember those shots. Did you remember seeing the amount of snipers that was on the roofs?
Man, the people was ready. They was ready for us to do something. But we was peaceful. We was protesting. We had our signs. We had our black on. Some of us was saying his name. We were saying other people's names too. Sandra Bland, George Floyd, Tamar Reese, Tamar Rice, excuse me. We were saying people we was being peaceful, but they was definitely prepared for us to get unruly. But we wasn't gonna do that. Shoot, I walked from I think I parked if you're familiar with Houston, I parked it by Grooves almost. And I walked all the way from that area to City Hall. And I enjoyed it on the way there. The way back was the hard part.
I stayed downtown, so at that moment, I walked from my house down to the George R. Brown Convention Center all the
You
way.
so fancy.
Hey, shut up, man.
Yeah, he lived downtown, so he ain't had to go. He ain't had to go park nowhere. It was us folks, so we had to go park somewhere.
Hey, look, everybody's supposed to spoil themselves sometime in life. That was my spoiled moment, okay? It was during COVID when everything was cheap. I ain't going back now because it costs too dang much.
That's a fact. Yeah, everyone just you deserve to spoil yourself. I ain't got no. I agree with that 100%. But but yes, I mean I ain't gonna. I'm just being funny, y'all. I love the older generation. My mom, my dad, everybody. You know, they didn't have it figured out, and we don't have it all figured out anyways. No one's gonna have it all figured out. We just taking lessons that we learn from each other and moving on with that. Like honestly, we at the point where we got to re-raise our parents. As your parents get older, you become the parent. I tell my mom all the time, stay off Facebook Messenger with them scammers. Don't put your car information into something. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Let me do
We gotta re-raise our parents.
Let me do my auntie like that. Let me do my auntie like that, man. Time she be on Facebook with the messenger with the scammers, man. She don't be with no scammers, man. She just trying to figure some stuff out.
No, she was on there with them Jamaican scammers, them Nigerian scammers. Get off of there. They be trying to scam you. They want your credit card number.
Nah, but I think everybody gave great insight on this topic. I mean, I definitely want to see what you guys had to say, because I mean, me and that individual had a long conversation. Like I said, I was in California for about 7 days. And we had a long conversation one day. He just, I was at a little event and we just talked for a little minute, and that was kids came up and he was just like, man, you seem like a wise young man, man. How you seem like you possess a lot of wisdom. You carry yourself a certain way, man. But I just feel like your generation, this, and this, and that shit. We had that long conversation. And I mean, I think I kind of opened his mind up a little bit. It was like, made him trying to just see things from a different lens, because I just believe life is all about perspective. And we all have different perspectives based off, our upbringing and morals and ethics and values. And it's important to get the perspective of each person in the room and then make a decision. So I think this conversation is key. And I encourage everybody else, to have this conversation with somebody that's, not in your generation. So we can move on to the next topic. I believe it is shot time.
All right, y'all. It's me, Sha Marie. I know y'all heard me this episode, but it's time to get into my topic. And I'm just getting over a cold, y'all, so I might be a little short of breath. Um, so I wanted to get into the basically social media making a mockery of disabled people. And let me just put a disclaimer. I am not 100% sure all of these people I'm going to name are disabled, but I mean, they seem disabled. They look disabled. Some of them we know for a fact are disabled, but the other ones I'm not 100% sure. But the people I want to mention here, the first two people are Netta and Charles, Miss Netta and Charles. Charles, your lunch is ready. Them. And I like Netta and Charles. So I like all these people. Then we're going to get into Shamar, Big Marco. Some of y'all might know him. Well, we're going to start. So Netta and Charles Netta and Charles, Shamar, and then Aunt D and her two daughters, which both of her daughters, I believe, have autism. And the last person I want to mention is Kat Johnson, which she's recently passed away. So rest in peace to Kat. So let's get into Netta and Charles. So Netta and Charles is a couple in Alabama, and a lot of people thought Netta was a woman, but I don't know how y'all thought that. Netta clearly is a man, like it's obvious, but I digress. But so Miss Netta and Charles are a couple in Alabama, and if you look at them two and you see them, obviously they got something wrong with them. Like obviously, what we would call they're high functioning. They have they're I'm not gonna use the term anything degrading toward them, but clearly they're high functioning. Um, Netta, which is a 46-year-old born Joe Johnson that goes by Miss Netta, and then Charles is I think he's 37. So Charles is a bit younger than Netta, and there was all kind of rumors going around that Netta groomed Charles, and because if you listen to them and listen to their content, you can kind of tell that Miss Netta is a little more, they both on the, let's say, remedial level, but Netta is a little bit more high functioning. Like Netta could be a manager at a corner store, while Charles will probably be working in the corner store. Put it that way. Like Netta is a little more high functioning than Charles, and Netta seems to she seems to control Charles. So that's why people were saying that she groomed Charles into being with her. But I don't believe it. I don't believe Netta groomed Charles into being with her. I think Charles he likes Netta. He likes men, and that's why he with Netta. And I feel like Charles is not with Netta because if you've been watching them, you would know that Charles is a welder and Netta was a manager at Dairy Queen or somewhere. So we know Charles made more money than Netta. So I don't think it was a thing about Netta takes care of Charles. That's obviously not true. They also have them. They have a home. They have amenities, all those things. So I just feel like the reason why people make fun of them so much because Netta is not aesthetically pleasing to the eyes. Now we ain't gonna say because Charles might think Netta beautiful. People might think Netta beautiful, but social media thinks Netta is not attractive. They call Netta all kind of names, talk about Netta skin, Netta fingernails, Netta hair, Netta booty. Everything about Netta is dragged on social media. Now, me personally, Beauty is an eye of the beholder. Netta resemble Bill Cosby. So yeah, so Netta is not aesthetically pleasing to social media's point of view. But I think I feel like if Charles want to be with Netta, what's the big deal? Now, Charles and Netta blew up last year on social media. They had a lot of followers, a lot of following. They had a lot of brand deals. They had different companies like Gold Surgery. Netta got a BBL and a lipo. Charles got the BBL Drizzy six pack. Shout out to Drake. I don't got nothing against Drake. I just like that BBL Drizzy line. But Charles went got the six pack and Nelly got the BBL and all that stuff. So I mean, they was really popping, but now we're starting to see their stardom just dip down. But you know, social media, you could be either you're gonna be at 15 minutes of fame or it's gonna continue, and that's not the case for them. So I just kind of feel like it kind of rubs me the wrong way when people be under their comments calling Netta ugly and saying this and that about Netta, and I'm just like, if what if Charles like it, what we got to say about it? Like I just don't get that. And people saying, oh, you know, like how did Netta get a man? Or I don't got no excuse to have a man. First of all, you women out there, why would you even want Charles? Charles is laying in the bed every night with a 46-year-old man with bad skin and a BBL. And you want Charles? I'm a woman. I don't want Charles. I want Charles to stay with Netta. Charles don't need to have no woman. Charles needs to stay with Netta. I just don't get you women in the comments talking down on them, dragging them. What do you want, Charles? Charles is with a whole man. He been with a whole man for like a decade. What you want Charles for? Anyways, and we don't even know if Charles like women. We don't even know. So that brings me over to Shamar. So Shamar, I don't know the exact medical term Shamar has. I would like to Google it really quickly. Because Shamar has a very distinctive disability. I think he has scoliosis or some form of scoliosis because his waist and spine is totally twisted, and it's visibly see, and also his face. So like he's been on social media for a while, and he's been, I mean, he's been through a lot. Like he went home, he was homeless, he was getting beat up on by different people. He got like I just I just don't understand. You know, I get that they are on social media, but I just feel so bad when I see Shamar. He homeless. I think he in jail right now. He going to jail. He homeless, and I just feel like somebody. I feel like somebody truly failed Shamar because it's like his teeth. He has like 50 teeth in his mouth. Like his teeth are like double, triple on top of each other. He seems like no one ever took the time to really take him to a doctor and get some spinal work for himself. Um, he clearly has some kind of delayment in himself. Like, you know, he's functioning, but I don't know if I would consider him high functioning. And then he's constantly, you know, being abused. So I mean, I wish that there was some kind of help for Shamar. Um, he always got a man. We gonna say that. He always got a man. But having a man ain't everything. That's not everything having a man. So I think Shamar is in jail right now. For what reason, I'm not sure. But free Shamar. And I just wish that once he gets out, clearly he has a social media presence. People like him, people follow him. I just wish and pray that he would get underneath the right people and somebody that actually manages social media and actually help him elevate so that he can have his own house, his own place. Because I know out of the last, I think he's been on social media like 3 years. I know he's made a lot of money on social media. Like you can make six figures on social media. Like I know somebody right now that made, I don't know him personally, but they made $400,000 on YouTube last year. So I mean, the possibilities are endless, but it clearly is a state that he's not, you know, he's being, you know, taken advantage of. And my last people I want to bring up is Aunt D and her daughters. Now, Aunt D and her daughters, I don't know her daughter's name. I think one of them name is Shay. The other one, I don't know the other girl's name, but I mean Aunt D, it's Shay and Bria. And Aunt D, I don't know, it almost seems as if I don't say she's taking advantage of her daughters because both of her daughters have severe autism. One of them, I think her name is Shay. Her autism is not as severe as Aunt D, but I mean not as severe as Bria, but they both have severe cases. I believe it's autism. And it makes me think, is there some kind of, I don't even say that, I ain't even say that. But it's kind of strange that you would have more than one child to be born with the same disability and one more severe than the other. It makes me think about, I ain't gonna say that, I ain't gonna say that. But yeah, so I mean, it seems like they're just being used on social media to argue and fight and make fun of them, and it just really don't rub me the right way. Um, and I'm going on. I'm gonna wrap this all up, but it just doesn't rub me the right way because Bria, if you see Bria, and I know some people out there, y'all probably know who I'm talking about. Bria is very violent and she gets very angry. Now Shay is more chill, but I feel like Bria and Shay needs to be in some kind of, instead of being on social media all day, they need to be in some kind of facility where they can be learning some kind of trade or something on their capacity, so where they can be able to function in this world, and outside of being on social media and just collecting a little money on social media. I feel like they need to be able to, like go to a day center or something, especially Bria. She seems like she has, like I said, anger management issues. She's always breaking stuff, she always yelling, all that stuff. So I don't know. I just don't like the mockery of mockery of disabled people on social media, especially people I'm talking about. So yeah, I just wanted to bring, I just wanted to bring awareness to that. And again, rest in peace to Kat Johnson. She was another person on here. She passed away. I'm not sure what she passed away from, but she had been on social media for a long time. Y'all might know her. She was a black woman. She was, clearly delayed. We're gonna call the term delayed. She was delayed. Um, and she would always be saying little funny stuff or people yelling at her and all that stuff. And it's just sad that she passed away. I think it's just sad, it's just sad that happened to her. But yeah, y'all, that's it.
I agree with you. I don't think they should be doing this. They shouldn't be making fun of these people. And you said the boy Shamor, you said his waist is twisted. Yeah, you said his
Yeah,
waist.
so he has, like, I think it's scoliosis. I sent a picture of him to the group chat. But I think he has scoliosis, or some kind of form of scoliosis, where his body is completely twisted, like he cannot stand up straight at all. I think he has like a spinal injury as
Oh,
well.
that's a little short. Okay, because I'm trying to Google everybody you talking about. That's a little short one that bees on that balloon pop thing.
Yeah, he be with old boy, part of Young Thug
Oh
crew. Yeah.
man, yeah,
And he got
I
he
be
got
feeling
like
bad
50
for
teeth in his
him.
mouth. His people didn't take him to the dentist. His people didn't take him to the doctor. He was used to be all like malnourished. Like he been through a whole lot. And then he got like his teeth are on top of each other. Like it's pretty bad.
You ain't gotta give me the detail. You ain't gotta say the man teeth on top of each other. But
I mean, they are, and I feel like I'm sure he got a first of the month check most of his life, so I don't understand why his family didn't take him to the dentist and get his teeth fixed. I don't get that. Or take him to a spinal specialist and get him some help. Like, there's no reason why he's been like just left out in this world like this. I don't get it.
well, I mean, a lot of people abuse those individuals like that. You know what I'm saying? They take they check, they just use it on whatever they want to use it on. They don't really give them what they need. They just kind of do whatever they want to do. So, but the one thing I like, I mean, I know you don't like them getting made fun of, but ain't they getting paid for this stuff though? Huh? Are they getting paid for this? Like when he going a little balloon pop, he getting a little, he getting a little
Yeah,
check.
yeah, they're making money from social media, but they got management teams, they got people like that. I feel like are getting most of their money.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, so
that's
I
that's
feel that's
good
what I'm
then.
saying because right now Shamar is in jail, I believe.
What? What he in jail for if he disabled? What he done did?
Cause he be fighting all the time. He be fighting people, whooping
How
people
he gonna?
ass.
I thought his waist was twisted. How he gonna fight?
And he still can fight. You seen him? He still can throw hands. He always fighting. He fights. He's a fighter. But you know, a lot of people like that are like delayed, they always be violent. You know, they be wanting a nook and buck. Like that's
Yeah,
why he need to be on some kind of medication.
yeah. If he disabled, and
Color
he
purple, I have to fight my whole life.
you talking about his waist twisted and all, he don't need to be fighting nobody, man.
He got a spinal
He got
injury. Man,
what?
there was a big old
Oh,
man. I don't know if the guy was his lover or what. They fighting the gas station. The man that was fighting Shamar was like 6 foot something, big as heck, and Shamar little bitty butt, and he was throwing them bows.
well, you know what? That's why they social media not making fun of them. They just out there just
Making fun of
recording.
him.
They
They
just
making
doing.
memes. People making memes of Shamar dancing, picking his mouth. They making fun of him. And Shamar is not benefiting because he was just homeless. He was in jail recently. I think he out, but he was in jail. Like he's not benefiting off of this. People making fun of him. These
Well,
people are being exploited.
well, society's cruel. I mean, we both know that. I mean, if his waist is twisted, you say his spine is whatever. He got the spinal. I don't know the man. I think I seen. I think I seen him though. He was with the Woody character, the Woody guy who was on the. He did walk a little funny. So that I was wondering why he walked funny. That let me know. Okay, so now I know he got a disability. So he shouldn't be trying to fight people. I mean, if you disabled, you over here trying to throw hands at somebody, yeah, somebody gonna make a meme of you. You don't have, the normality of the body functions. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not walking straight. I mean, you probably don't swing straight. So I mean, come on, man. He need to calm down. And then
Oh, he swings straight. It's just his waist. His waist twisted. Not his arms ain't twisted. It's just his waist. He swings straight. And he got regular size arms. Like his torso is not regular size. God forgive him. But his arms are regular size.
I get the topic of saying why we can't talk about them and stuff like that, and how not to talk can talk about them, but the taking a disadvantage of them. And yeah, some of them are getting taken disadvantage of, but
Because how come he homeless and ain't got nowhere to live?
now, how much is that of we saying that social media taking advantage of them and them not utilizing? Well, I guess that could be his management, or
Social media making fun of them.
I mean, social media makes fun of everybody. I mean, the internet's undefeated, so it's more so of you utilizing the social media in your best interest. So if you cannot do it and your team cannot, or your team is messing you over where you're not able to be sufficient and take care of yourself, then that's the problem. So now it's more so back going to like every other person, you having to choose a horrible management that's backing you up. You know what I mean? Care of you, or you not knowing how to utilize your funds now. You know, that is what I feel like is the problem of. I don't think it's social media making fun of them, because as we all know, if you get on the internet and you do something stupid, you're gonna become a meme, because the internet is undefeated and it don't lose. You're gonna lose to them. Don't matter if you Beyonce, Jay-Z. I almost said that one. Don't matter who you is, you're gonna lose that fight when it comes to them. So I think it's more so the management and their self not being able to handle their situation they're in and take advantage of the stardom that they're doing. And they're putting themselves in a situation where it's affecting them to have to go to jail, which, as you say, he's fighting people. You're putting yourself in a situation where you're
He
losing.
be fighting. He be fighting. He be going to jail. He be with his boyfriend, fighting his boyfriend. Like, it be a lot of drama going on. He
And
was homeless. Huh?
the Netta and Charles one you was talking about?
No. Ned and Charles don't fight. Shamar be fighting. Ned and Charles, they just be like, Netta treat Charles like he her son, not her man. You know what I'm saying? That's how they be. But Shamar and Netta linked up recently, did some content. They looking for their man.
The whole time you talking about Netta, I thought that was a woman until I saw the pictures and I said, "Oh Lord."
No, Netta is born Joe. Joe Robinson is Miss Netta. But a lot of guys, so I actually started talking to a boy that thought Netta was a woman. Because I'm like, how did you think Netta was a woman? But a lot of people do think Netta a woman.
all that makeup be doing some things. Because at first I thought,
No, and
woman.
ain't enough Maybelline in the world.
Hey,
Ain't enough.
we have to take people as they are, and
Yeah,
sometimes everybody ain't the prettiest in the world. So,
yeah. I mean, I
Nate,
got nothing wrong with Miss Netta. Miss Netta can get her hair done, her nails done, all that aesthetically pleasing.
like I
I don't
said,
got
that's
nothing
Booker
wrong with
T.
that.
That's Booker T. I'm gonna get out. I'm getting off. I'm getting out of Booker T.
Why you do that? Why you see you like the people on social media.
Look here, I ain't say I was a full Christian all the way. I'm working on my Christian. You know, that devil's still on my shoulder right now. And I've been fighting this whole dang segment, man, but it's killing me right now. It's killing me.
I mean, I mean, I mean, I threw a little stuff in there too, but I'm just being real though. I don't hate these people and none of that stuff like that. I just don't. I just wish that because especially Shamar's so young. I think he's like 23. Like he need a roof to stay. Somebody to get him a home, something. Cause he's always back and forth. He's homeless and just be a lot going on.
Need to quit fighting. That's what you need to do.
Nah,
Yeah, all that
Fight.
fighting and stuff.
he need a different management team so he won't be homeless.
Who Lil Woody manager?
But ain't nobody
Lil
gonna
Woody on the spectrum too.
Little Woody, the one that's with Young Thug Crew.
Yeah, he on the spectrum too.
He might be on the spectrum, but he'll kill you, so you ain't gonna mess with that nigga's money.
Oh, he will. Yeah, they always use the slow ones to do the dirty work. Yeah, Lil Shamar was just in Cobb County Jail. Yeah, he been in jail. He been in jail.
Hold
What
up,
do
man.
you mean?
Why you say they gotta? Why you say that like that, Shy? Why you gotta say they always use a stupid?
They always use the lady one to do all the dirty work, and the lady one gonna be quiet, gonna not tell it. They what they do. They use the lay person for their dirty work.
I got nothing else on this topic. I think I said all I can say about it.
Okay, well Shamar and your man Joe Netta and Charles and who else I said? I said somebody else. These people, I'm fans of all of y'all, so this is no shade to y'all. And R&D, I'm not a fan of R&D and her daughters because I just don't feel like people with autism and anger issues should be on social media. But everybody else, I'm pretty much a fan of. I like Netta and Charles. I like Shamar. So yeah. Anyways, y'all, that was my topic. Anybody, anything else, Zach?
Nah, I got nothing else. Let's go ahead and end it out then. We appreciate you guys for coming back and getting some gems with us. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to our second episode of the 2025. Y'all keep tuning in. We're gonna keep dropping gems. Y'all keep reaching out to us on all our social medias and our emails. If you need those, here they go right now. You can reach out to us with our emails at gemstonespodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that's gemstonespodcast@gmail.com. You can reach out to us at all our social medias at Gemstones Podcast. Please follow us on Spotify. And by the end of this month, we will be having Apple Music and all that stuff coming over too. Maybe we'll be even having an Amazon podcast also. So we will be moving on to other branches so we can get more diversity in our podcast listeners and all our people.
Woo!
So round of applause for all that. And please be on the lookout for
Thank you.
so we can be on other topics where y'all can listen to us and hear us and do all that stuff like that. So we want to thank y'all. We want to bless y'all for this year. Let's make this a great and blessed year. Let's make this a year where we make things happen for ourselves. We love y'all and I hope you have a great year.